For decades, we've looked up at the night sky and wondered, could Mars ever become our second home? A place where humans walk freely under a dusty red sky, where colonies grow food, and rockets come and go like airplanes. But is this vision of a new world a genuine possibility, or is it just another science fiction dream, destined to remain on the pages of books and on our screens? Let's break down the science, the ambition, and the harsh realities of what it would take for humanity to plant its flag on the red planet for good. First things first, let's get real about what we'd be up against. Mars is not exactly a welcoming neighbor. The average temperature hovers around a bone-chilling -63 degrees Celsius. Forget packing a light jacket, you'd need a specialized suit just to survive for a few seconds. The atmosphere, it's about 100 times thinner than Earth's and almost entirely carbon dioxide. There's practically no oxygen to breathe, and the air pressure is so low that without protection, your blood would literally boil. On top of that, the planet is constantly bombarded with cosmic and solar radiation, since it lacks a global magnetic field like Earth's to shield it. And if all that wasn't enough, the gravity is only about 38% of what we're used to. While that might sound fun for a little while, imagine jumping 3 times higher over the long term. It could have serious effects on our muscles and bones. So, given this long list of life-threatening challenges, why are some of the brightest minds on Earth dedicating their lives to making this happen? Because the impossible is what drives us forward. The race to Mars isn't just a distant fantasy. It's happening right now. Visionary companies and space agencies are locked in a new kind of space race. We've all heard the names. NASA, with its legacy of landing on the moon and its persistent robotic explorers like Curiosity and Perseverance, is laying the scientific groundwork. Then you have private titans like SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, who isn't just talking about visiting Mars but building a self-sustaining city there. His goal is audacious: 1 million people living on Mars by 2050. To achieve this, SpaceX is developing Starship, a fully reusable rocket designed to carry 100 people at a time. It's a vehicle built not just for a visit, but for a permanent migration. And they're not alone. Blue Origin, founded by Jeff Bezos, is also developing heavy-lift rockets with Mars in their sights. The technology to get there, the rockets, the life support, the landing systems is being designed, built, and tested as we speak. This isn't just about planting a flag anymore. It's about building a launchpad for humanity's future, a backup drive for our civilization. History is filled with ideas that sounded completely crazy at first, from crossing oceans in wooden ships to flying in metal tubes through the sky. Settling Mars is simply the next crazy idea on that list. So, let's say we've made the 6 to 9 month journey and landed safely. How do we actually live there? You can't just step outside and take a deep breath. The first Martian colonists would likely live in sealed habitats, possibly domes on the surface, or, more safely, underground lava tubes that provide natural protection from radiation. These bases would be our entire world. Inside, we'd have to create a closed-loop ecosystem. Food would be grown in hydroponic or aeroponic farms, using carefully recycled water and nutrients under powerful LED lights. Forget open fields. Think vertical farms stacked high with genetically engineered crops designed to thrive in these specific conditions. Water itself would be one of the most precious resources. We'd have to mine it from the ice locked away in the Martian poles and soil, then purify and recycle every single drop. But what about the air we breathe? We can't ship oxygen all the way from Earth. The solution lies in a process called in-situ resource utilization, a fancy term for living off the land. NASA's Perseverance rover has already tested an instrument called MOXIE, which successfully generated a small amount of oxygen from the carbon dioxide in the Martian atmosphere. A scaled-up version of this technology could one day provide breathable air for an entire habitat, and even create rocket propellant for the return trip to Earth. Even the red dirt, the regolith, could be our friend. Scientists are experimenting with ways to mix it with polymers, to 3D print bricks, and building materials. This means we could literally build our new homes from the ground beneath our feet, reducing the enormous cost and difficulty of shipping everything from Earth. Step by step, science is finding answers to these monumental challenges. However, the biggest obstacle to colonizing Mars might not be the technology or the environment. It might be inside our own heads. Humans are social creatures, evolved over millions of years to thrive on a vibrant, living planet filled with blue skies, green forests, and vast oceans. Imagine living in a small, enclosed space with the same few people for years on end. The view outside your window is a static, reddish-brown desert under a pale, pink sky. There are no seasons as we know them, no rainstorms, no birds singing, no smell of fresh-cut grass. The silence would be profound and, for some, deafening. Psychologists specializing in space missions warn that the mental toll could be immense. The risk of depression, anxiety, and interpersonal conflict in such an isolated, high-stress environment is incredibly high. A mission could have the most advanced technology in the universe, but if the crew couldn't cope with the profound psychological pressure, the sheer loneliness of being 140 million miles away from everything they've ever known, the colony could fail from the inside out. The human mind might be the most fragile piece of equipment we take to Mars. And yet, despite all the dangers, all the science, and all the psychological hurdles, the dream persists. Why? Because it's in our nature to explore, to push boundaries, and to reach for what's just beyond our grasp. Every great leap in human history began with a simple but powerful question. What if we try? From the moment our ancestors first harnessed fire, to the day we first took flight, to the moment Neil Armstrong's boot touched the lunar dust, we have been a species defined by our relentless curiosity. Mars is the next logical step in that journey. It's not just about survival or having a backup plan. It's about the very spirit of human endeavor. It's a challenge that forces us to innovate, to collaborate on a global scale, and to become better than we are today. Maybe, just maybe, one day in the distant future, your great-grandchildren will stand on a terraformed Martian plain, look up at a tiny blue dot in their sky, and tell stories about Earth, the place where humanity was born. That bright red dot we see in our night sky might just be where humanity begins again. The future of life on Mars is far from certain. The path is filled with immense risks and challenges that we are only just beginning to understand. But one thing is for sure, the journey has already begun. The first footprints on Mars are closer now than ever before. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by the future of space exploration, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us on our next journey into the unknown.